Hi there, my name is Mansa Musa, the 14th century CE emperor of the Mali Empire in West Africa. You may have heard of my glorious empire and hometown through my uncle Sundiata. I will now tell you of what happened once I became emperor. I was crowned the emperor in 1312 after my brother, my predecessor, Abu Bakr II, abdicated his throne to go explore the world. Thanks, brother. Before I came Mansa Musa, I was known as Musa Kieta I. After being crowned, my people humbly gave me the name Mansa Musa, meaning King of all kings. What can I say? My people loved me. Thanks to all my previous predecessors, Mali was already a well-established and known empire, with rather good relations with other countries. At that time, most of Europe was busy with their famine and civil wars. Remember the French Revolution-inspired musical Les Miserables? Now that was inspired by what was going on back in Europe, but back home in Africa, we flourished. Basically just winning at life, I might add. Timbuktu, one of the leading cities of the Islamic world during that time, was what it was because of my leadership. More on that later. I also re-established the previous capital, Gao. This helped a lot of people with their trade because discovering new land and exploration was popular for people in my time. I gained control over trade routes between the Mediterranean and West African coast, continued their expansion and dramatically increased Mali's size and power. That's right, they don't call me a king of all kings for nothing. Mali is a land filled with rich resources, and one of the things we were abundant of was gold. Yup, gold. We had plenty of salt and gold. We had so much gold that it was said that I was one of the wealthiest men of my time. Okay, I have to admit, it wasn't solely me who brought the riches in. Mali was already rich before my time. There were armies that guarded the gold mines. They guarded sections of the trade routes. Because of this, there were usually about 90,000 men on duty at one time. Wealth in the form of gold poured into Mali. Traders were keen to come to Mali. They knew that they would be welcomed, fed, housed, and safe. I was generous like that, you know. Trade with Mali was always good for the traders who had come so far. On the cultural side, I grew up learning Arabic, and others called me a Muslim traditionalist. As a devout Muslim, I had spent years preparing for my trip to Mecca. Artists, musicians, escorts all prepared for my pilgrimage to Mecca. Being one of the richest men on the planet, I brought all my fortune with me on my pilgrimage in 1324. You wouldn't believe the sight of it. It spanned so wide and that it stretched as far as the eye could see. My entire entourage could have spanned the whole of the Sahara Desert from the start to finish. I had tens of thousands of soldiers, civilians and slaves, messengers dressed in the finest silks, carrying their weight in gold, and even more camels and horses carrying even more gold. Gold! I didn't keep these bountiful beauties for myself though. While on my travels in the desert, I would stop in cities like Cairo and generously give my gold away to those in need. I would also build mosques and buildings along the way, being the devout Muslim that I am. Proud to say, I've spent so much gold that I destabilized the regional economy, causing mass inflation for a good few years. The amount of gold I had amassed was really huge. It was this journey that marked Mali as a wealthy nation because stories of our wealth had spread over the region. Furthermore, merchants from Europe saw how freely I was giving out gold and they brought back my reputation as a generous king back to their own countries. My rank as an emperor was elevated as my empire and I was recognized on the world map. It was a glorious time indeed. Despite a bed full of riches, I was very interested in adding to the cultural and religious wealth of the empire as well. On my way back from my Hajj, I brought back scholars and architects to build mosques along the way and to spread what I had learned from Islam. I invested in Timbuktu, as mentioned before, and it became a hotspot for religious Islamic knowledge. There, I built a mosque and named it Jitungrebre Mosque, which to this day is one of the sole markers of how wealthy Mali was. Don't you wish you could visit this place? Overall, Mali was what it was because of what we made it to be. Many scholars and traders flocked towards my empire because of how the development that was happening. Be it building new infrastructure or gaining new knowledge, it was a glorious reign for me. I would say, Mali is pretty awesome, don't you think?